All right, guys, patch version 1.1 is on its way. It is supposed to be dropping Tuesday, October 8th, but that's still not 100%. This was already delayed a week due to console issues. It'll be confirmed Monday whether it's actually dropping on the 8th. Let's be hopeful that it is. So, greetings, champions. It feels like it was only recently that we were celebrating our full release at Gamescom, and it's already time for 1.1. In update 1.1, we're welcoming our fourth Omega original hero, Skylar, an aerial combat ace with some serious alien tech. Spooky season is officially kicking off too with the return of Shadow Eve, and of course, we have a bunch of new features, improvements, and bug fixes alongside some highly requested community features. Mouse and keyboard support for console, apparently. Awesome. Let's get stuck in. All right, little short introduction. New hero Skylar, the Winged Marauder. I do think she seems cool. I have already read through her kit, so she seems interesting. I think she'll be a lot of fun. I think she'll be super problematic at low elo. I would like to read through it again before I give like my final thought on if I think she's going to be incredibly OP. So let's jump into it. All right, so here we have the base stats for Skylar. Interesting that they're going to start showing us base stats. There's nothing that like immediately jumps out. It's pretty standard. I think 650 is a speed you're going to want to take note of. It is cool that we get to see this now right at the gate. But yeah, you can read that. I'm not going to read it all out. But let's jump into the abilities. So we do have ability videos here. So we see her little passive. Or well, her like 2-in-1 passive. She kind of has two passives. She has like a Gaia Greaves passive, and then as well as the AoE burst. So enemy units killed by Skylar explode after 0.75 seconds, dealing 30 plus 5 per level physical damage to nearby enemies within a 350 unit radius. That's pretty small. If the target is an enemy hero, the explosion and damage and radius is tripled. Additionally, Skylar utilizes her jetpack to gain increased jump height. It's not insane damage, but that little just like burst, it's kind of like a malady effect. Pretty cool. It'll be interesting to see how it plays in lane because it'll be really hard for her to freeze. It'd be cool if there was a way to actually disable this passive, like a toggle somehow, or if it like didn't proc if you get a kill with the beam or something like that. You know, a way to not have yourself unable to freeze. All right, so Skylar's basic attack, Starfire. Looks pretty fancy. So her BAT is 1.5, and then it deals 57 plus 75% bonus physical power as physical damage. So I do have a few heroes here that I want to show. So this is compared to other ADCs because it does seem really low. So like if we look at Drongo here, if it would load, we can see, you know, 85 physical power scaling. We go to Twin Blast. Twin Blast is a bit weird one. I shouldn't use Twin Blast. 45%, but that's on 2 shots, so it's really 90. You know, Murdoch, 90, and she is an ADC, right? So it does seem really low, but there's a reason for that, which we'll talk about in a bit. So don't see this and immediately panic. Plasma Grenade, her primary, the weird Decker Ball Gadget Hat Hybrid. I don't know if this can bounce off walls. So cooldown 14 seconds going down to 10, so not too long. Cost 50 going up to 70 at max level. Skylar launches a bouncing nano bubble that attaches to the first target hit for 0.5 seconds and deals 25 going up to 85 plus 20% bonus physical power as physical damage. After the duration, the target and nearby enemies take 70 going up to 190 plus 90% bonus physical power plus 50% magical power scaling as physical damage, and are slowed by 40 going all the way up to 60% at max level for 1 second. That's a pretty large slow. And for 1 second, a 60% slow for 1 second is pretty devastating. The range on this ability is pretty insane. I think this is probably going to be adjusted come next patch. I would not be surprised if the slow was cut. Maybe the damage won't end up being as good as I think it is, and 90% is quite a bit, but the slow I think will definitely be adjusted if I had to guess. Air Assault, her secondary, very cool ability. So we have a unique thing here. Skylar has a lot of unique things, I will say. The cooldown 24 seconds, so very long at level 1, going down to 14, which isn't too bad for such a crazy mobility, like movement ability. And then costs 70 to levels. Skylar thrusts upwards in her current direction, gains the ability to glide for 3.25 seconds. While gliding, Skylar's movement speed is increased by 25%. So it is a movement speed buff as well. During this time, dealing damage will cause Skylar to fire missiles that deal 25 going up to 65 at max level, plus 15% bonus physical power and plus 10% magical power as physical damage to the target. So not a whole lot, but it is still free damage on a movement ability. I mean, here's the thing. While I say it's not a lot, it kind of is. Hypercharge can only trigger missiles once every second, decreasing with bonus attack speed. So the more attack speed you build, the more you can trigger this. So I think it actually could be pretty devastating if you consider the fact that you glide for 3 seconds at base. If you have no attack speed built, you're dealing 190-ish. I can't be asked to math right now, even though that's not hard math. Plus 45%, or yeah, 45% bonus physical power, or plus 30% magical power. Yeah, that's actually a fair bit of damage now that I'm thinking about it. Probably going to be pretty scary. I think Skylar's going to be a bit strong on release. Hypercharge her alternate here. So this is her beam. So a flat 6-second cooldown at all levels, which is not very long. Cost 80 going up to 120. Skylar hypercharges Starfire, augmenting her basic attacks for the next 5 seconds. Takedowns refresh the duration, so this is going to act as a basic attack. So it will proc on hit. It will proc, in theory, anything that needs auto charges to, like, autos to count. So like Lightning Hawk, for example. While Hypercharge is active, Skylar converts bonus attack speed into additional on-hit damage, and her basic attack fires at a fixed rate of 10 attacks per second. So if this stacks Lightning Hawk, you're gonna get the slow. I mean, you get 2 slows in a second? That seems absurd, right? But yeah, so more attack speed scaling. Skylar has attack speed scaling in her kit, which is something that's unique to her. Each hit deals 1 going up to 9, plus 11% total physical power, plus 6% magical power, plus 15% bonus attack speed. Physical damage per instance, and applies on-hit effects at 12% effectiveness. So it is very low, but you remember, you're hitting 10 times a second. Dealing damage to the same target within 1 second increases the damage dealt to them by 1.25%, stacking up to 20 times. This beam is going to be devastating. At maximum stack, Hypercharge deals additional damage equal to 6, going up to 18 at max level % of the target's total physical armor. And then there is a passive on this ability. So this is where we're talking about where her autos seemed weak. That's where this comes in. So when you level this ability, your autos are going to get stronger. This is like your base autos. Basic attacks deal 4 going up to 20 at max level, plus 10% total physical power bonus physical damage on hit. So it's actually bonus physical damage. So it's not calculated within the auto. Interesting. I mean, she just seems kind of crazy. This seems like a character that would have come out in a year from now. Maybe even 2 years from now, when you were comparing them to the other ADCs in the game. All right, Atomizer, her ultimate. Pretty cool. Cooldown 120 seconds, going down to 80 max level, so around the standard. Cost 100 mana at all levels. Skylar charges up her weapon for 0.5 seconds before unleashing a large orb of energy. The orb explodes upon hitting an enemy or terrain, dealing 200 going up to 460 at max level, plus 135% bonus physical power, plus 100% magical power, plus 15 going up to 25 at max level % of the target's missing health as physical damage to all nearby enemies. So you're going to be doing up to a quarter more damage to low health targets. Atomizer's missing health damage is capped at 300, 450, or 600 at max level against non-heroes. Oh, so you can use this as a 600 damage ability to an objective. Interesting. It doesn't out-secure Hunt, which is good. Shadow's Eve is coming up. So we're getting a spooky little map skin. That's pretty cool. There's a trailer. I did already play it on my channel. I'm not going to play it here. Oh yeah, that's the whole thing for Skylar. I think she'll be super devastating at low elo, and I think she's actually kind of overtuned right now, so I think she'll probably be good at high elo for a while. She does have a new skin. Very cool skin. Love it. Here's the legendary Narbash skin that has new voice lines and new sound effects. So also apparently a recall animation. Very cool. The two new Omega original skins, Greystone and Kira. The Greystone one looks great. I think the Kira one looks good. I just think the art for it looks a little weird. Like, this is off to me. I think in-game the model will probably look pretty good, but the Greystone is just fire. Love that. Little Witch, Lieutenant Bellica. I hate this skin, but sure, cool. Another weird skin, Sparrow Feline. So there's the Halloween skins. There's one more coming up that I'm very excited about. So there is the Skylar bundle, as you'd expect. You get everything that you would expect out of it. Unfortunately, we can't see the spray, the banner, or the icon here. There's the Halloween mega bundle. You know, I think because I hate how much I dislike these skins, I don't know that I would like consider getting the bundle even if I was throwing money at the game like crazy. There's the Bachelor Lantern Narbash bundle, which sure, cool. Is there recolors here? Doesn't. Oh. There are two Kira variants and two Greystone variants. Interesting. I wish we could see those. And then there is a Greystone and Kira bundle where you get the variant. Cool. Platinum packs adjusted. So here's the new Platinum pack prices. A lot less predatory, more in line with the skin prices. Sure. Roll bundle discounts. I guess the roll bundles are getting a reduced price. Cool. Sure. All right. Version 1.1 Twitch drops. This is what I'm excited for. A, as a streamer, and B, because this is the one skin that I was intending to buy from the Halloween skins. So I'm glad I don't have to. So with Twitch drops, we are getting... So any predecessor streamer will be able to get the basic pumpkin spray. For any what we would call tier 2 and tier 3 streamers, we'll be able to give out the Sweet Dreams Chimera spray, the Sweet Dreams Chimera profile icon, which is going to be my new profile icon, and maybe my new spray, and then the Sweet Dreams Chimera skin. Clown Chimera is back. I'm so happy, and I'm so excited that we get this thing for free. That is so cool. I'm so excited. And then there's the art for the skin. Very good. I'm actually so excited for this. I can't. I'm so happy that this is the free skin. So there you go. There's your Twitch drop for the month. Hell yeah. High res is or high res. Sorry, Omega. I got Smite on the mind. Omega is killing it right now. 120 FPS mode for consoles, PlayStation trophies, localization changes or updates, German, French, Italian, simplified, Chinese, Brazilian, and Brazilian Portuguese. Aim assist can be toggled on and off, and we have mouse and keyboard support. All right, draft improvements. This was something that was already talked about, so I'm not going to linger on this too much. We have some draft changes. We got rid of those god awful roles. There's now draft voice lines. So okay, there'll be a voice line telling you which lane you've been assigned, and there will be a voice line that reminds you to lock in at 10 seconds. That'll say like time is running out or whatever. Very cool. The time is running out thing will be great for me because I get distracted while streaming when my chat's popping off. But yeah, this is great changes. We got rid of the stupid roll thing. We have the hero videos too. We have the here. Actually, hold on. I'll let that play. Cool. I think that's when it's your turn to pick. Yeah. Oh, once you pick, it'll tell you to add. That's okay. Actually, I don't think I'm a fan of this. We have the hero abilities as well, like videos. This is just an image, I guess. So you'll be able to see videos of your abilities here in the bottom right. This also should stop opponent 5 from being covered and ranked. So that's great. It's ultimately just way better. There's a few changes there. The hero ability screen looks way better. That's awesome. Yeah, the removal of subclasses, affinity progress in the draft screen. Let's see if it shows it here. It does. So you can see Morigesh. Oh, there's a bar too. So you can see Morigesh is like over halfway through level 1. That's awesome, actually. I didn't realize the bar was going to be there. That's rad. Okay, cool. So, role select change. Okay, so you just click on the role. You don't have to click anything else. All right, cool. Oh, player names and role select. So they're here, so you don't have to look in chat and try to figure it out. Awesome. Cool. Oh, we're now we have the hero much more zoomed in. Sure. Lane lock clarity, so that's better. The outline's better, like the highlight points. And then post-match screen improvements. So this is rad. So obviously it'll highlight you, and it highlights whoever had the highest. Oh, well, I don't know why this is. Is it because they have the lowest? Are they tied? I think they are. So it'll highlight whoever's that has the highest of each stat. I don't know. Is it kill death assist ratio? Maybe. So you see large multi-kill. Everyone that has 2 is highlighted. Top damage, the Sevarog is highlighted. That checks out. Physical damage to heroes. And apparently, to my understanding, you'll always be matched up right here with your opponent. So you can more easily direct compare. Very cool. A ton of improvements. Awesome. Chat readability upgrade. Actually, you can see that here. The font's been made way better. So it's not a pain in the ass to read. That's great. Renamed item slots 1, 2, and 3. So that's your potion, your crest, and your hunt. So yeah, they've changed it to blink, utility, or blink, utility, crest, and vision. Apparently some jump pad VFX, skin selection. Oh, the game will now save your last selected skin as the default. Cool. Renamed some sprays. Adjusted skin button. View skin or view heroes been. Sure, I'm not sure exactly what that's referring to, but all right, items. I just smacked the shit out of my mic. I apologize. I'm gonna quickly pause the recording and grab something to drink because my mouth is dry as fuck. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So we have a few new items in the game. Some of them are very interesting. First up is Solaris, which is one of the more interesting ones. So cost 3,100, 45 physical power, 20% critical strike chance, 250 mana, 15 ability haste. Passive, it only has one passive, Solar Blade. Upon casting an ability, empower your next basic attack within 4 seconds to deal 50 plus 120% of your critical strike chance as bonus physical damage on hit, 1.5 second cooldown. So I'm thinking Revenant is going to be an absolute menace with this thing. It does come out the gate with 20% crit chance, so that's great too. I think this will be very devastating on Revenant. Especially early game? And I'm thinking maybe Vanquisher, Solaris. I mean, maybe it's even Solaris then Vanquisher. I'm not entirely sure. I think this item's gonna be pretty scary. I'm also thinking maybe we try out Crit Kalari again, see what we can do with that. Just a thought. The ability haste on it's really nice for Kalari. 250 mana. It does synergize a bit with Resolution. Cool. Spectra. This is a weird one that maybe Skylar could use, but I mostly think you'll be seeing it on Sparrow. Maybe I'm underselling it. I hate ADC items not having power on them, but let's jump in. 2,900, so it is pretty cheap. 45% attack speed, which is a lot, and 15 ability haste. Passive is Radiant Strikes, deal 30 physical damage on hit and reduce the cooldown of Prisma, the other passive, by 3 seconds. Damaging an enemy hero with this effect 3 times within 3 seconds activates Prisma. Passive 2, which is the Prisma. Deal 40 plus 4, or deal 20 plus 4 per level additional true damage and slow the target by 50% for 3 seconds. Damage increases from 1 to 3 times based on the target's missing health. This is on a 10-second cooldown. So instead of giving you physical power, you're given a lot of damage through autos. You have 30 flat physical damage just on every auto, and then hitting an enemy hero. Wait, hitting an enemy hero, oh, with this effect, so it does have to be autos. 3 times. So if you auto someone 3 times within 3 seconds, you then activate the second passive, which deals 20 plus 4 per level additional damage on that auto, which could be up to 3 times. So we're talking 60 plus 4 per level, or 60 plus 12 per level, if I'm understanding this correctly, and that's on a 10-second cooldown. You will hit hard. It's just you're getting no value on abilities out of this item. This is an entire item that will do nothing for your abilities outside of, I guess, 15 ability haste. Interesting. I think it'll be absolutely devastating on Sparrow, and again, maybe Skylar. Up next, Entropy, mage item, 3000 cost, 60 magical power, 400 mana, 15 ability haste. Your abilities deal 3 plus 3% magical power, additional magical damage. Each ability cast can only trigger this effect once every 0.3 seconds. This item I think is going to be very interesting on Argus and Morgesh. I'm not too crazy about it. It's when we're talking about it on Morgesh or Argus, I think it's just going to feel like a new Megacosm in a way. It's just another, like, it's another passive damage ability haste item. I don't know. I think there's items that are kind of too similar to it for me to be super interested about this item. I am sort of interested, and I'm curious to see how good it's going to be. But, you know. Overseer, 3000 gold, 80 magical power, 7 magical pen, so new flat pen item, and 8 magical lifesteal, also new lifesteal item. Your ultimate deals 15% increased damage and heals you for 25 of the damage dealt to heroes. I'm seeing this and I'm like, Countess? I mean, like, even Bellica? 15% more Bellica ult damage? Yeah, that could be pretty fucking scary. That could be pretty scary. So, yeah, I'm excited for this item. Very excited. New lifesteal item. Very interesting. Up next, we have Tainted Charm. These are support items up next. Cost 2,550, 375 health, 125% base mana regen, 10 ability haste, 20% tenacity on a support item is interesting. So the passive Blighted Presence, enemy heroes within 550 units of you, this is Brimstone range, has their healing reduced by 40% and are slowed by 10%. I don't like the stat spread on this item. I don't like this item not having any sort of armor, and it also doesn't have health regen. The tenacity is interesting, but yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about Tainted Charm. I think I don't feel great about it. Maybe I'm like crazy wrong. I'm not a support player. The mana regen's nice, I suppose, for supports early game when you need Tainted. Honestly, it would be really nice to have tenacity against steel, but you don't need Tainted against steel. So, all right, Void Conduit costs 2,500, 200 health, 35 magical armor, 15 ability haste, 3% movement speed on a support item. Passive Relativity, while within 1,000 units of an ally hero, you both gain 0.75% missing health and mana regeneration. I think this will be a good Narbash item, perhaps. This, again, another item I'm not really interested in. I think there are 2 boring items this patch, and it's the 2 support items. All right, so that, oh, and also removed items. Kingsbane's gone. Goodbye, Kingsbane. All right, jumping into hero balance changes. Starting with Countess. Physical armor growth increased from 2.85 to 3.05, and Blade Siphon, her alternate, Damage decreased from 95 going up to 215 to 95 going up to only 195, but gains 5% magical power scaling. So overall, this is going to be a buff on Countess. All this does is like trying to stray her away from a tankier build. Buffing Countess at a point where she's about to get a new really strong item is a little scary, but you know, I think in its current state we would want to do this. It's just with the item it's a bit concerning. It's not a massive buff regardless, so that's fine. Crunch, healing increase from 20 going up to, on his ultimate, from 20 going up to 100 max level to now 25 going up to 105 on max level. Pretty negligible buff. Greystone, I have seen this and I'm questioning it. Attack speed growth increased from 1.6 to 1.9. Make way, his primary cooldown decreased from 12 going down to 9 to now 12 going down to 8. Sacred Oath, slow increased from 12% to 13%, so that's the slow on his enhanced autos. And Assault the Gates, bonus physical power scaling increased from 75 to 90%. I don't know why we're still buffing Greystone. I mean, ultimately, like, this isn't going to be a massive buff. This is pretty significant when you consider how strong Secret Oath is, and now of course it's like that 1% extra slow stronger. Yeah, I think I think Greystone is in a pretty decent spot right now. I would find it weird if he's underperforming in low elo, given that he's a pretty low elo friendly god, like low skill friendly god, so, or hero. So yeah, I'm not entirely too sure about this one here. Grim probably needs a bit of love. BAT decreased from 1.25 to 1.2, and Displacement Blast's primary bonus physical power scaling increased from 90 to 95%, and magical power scaling increased from 75 to 80%. So yeah, it's just a slight buff for Grim. It should help him feel a bit better, should help push him a bit in line with some other ADCs, depending on what else has changed in this patch. Iggy and Scorch. Health decreased from 765 to 750. Oil Spill, his secondary magical power scaling increased from 30 to 35%, and the burn damage magical power scaling increased from 8% to 10%, so we actually get a buff on Oil Spill. Molotov, damage decreased from 95 going up to 195 at max level to now 85 going up to 185. And the magical power scaling is increased to 45%. The projectile speed is decreased by 15. The gravity is increased by 10. So the max range is cut approximately 1,000 units, which is a pretty significant nerf. This will hurt Iggy's ability to harass you under tower if you're trying to recall. I mean, all in all, this might end up being a nerf, honestly, but yeah, interesting change. I do really like this change. HP decrease is nice. I don't know that we needed to do all this. Okay, here we are. So Chimera is getting a slight nerf in the early game, but also a decent buff in late game. So Spirit Regen, his passive goes from 0.6 to 4.7 per stack to now 0.5 going up to 5.45 per stack. So yeah, a bit weaker early game, which is fair. He has an arguably unfair amount of health regen early game, and then going into the late game it falls off a bit. So now that this is trying to bring him a bit in line. Chimera's not doing too well right now. So, you know, let's see how this helps him. He does kind of just get blown up, and I think that's the issue. So I don't know how much this will help, but definitely in the 1v1s, be pretty significant. Kira, Purge ultimate, getting buffed again. Total damage increased from 240 to 570, going to now 250 up to 650. Damn, this ult hits really hard. If you have not played Flat Pen Kira, try it. Mid to late game, pop your ult and watch how fast everybody dies. I don't recommend Flat Pen as like the build you always do. It is just a fun build to mess around with sometimes. I recommend trying it. Watch how hard your ult hits. It's hilarious. Narbash, Thunk, cooldown decreased from 16 going down to 14 to now 16 going down to 13 at max level. Sure. Rampage, This is an interesting change. No nerfs to Rampage, questionable, but very good quality of life change. Rampage can now use Pounce while jumping. So if you hit spacebar, then use your leap, you can do that now. You couldn't previously do that. It doesn't really do him a whole lot. It just makes his kit a bit less bad feeling to pilot, because it is weird when some abilities you can jump and cast and some you can't. Like the fact that Greystone can do it but Rampage can't was always kind of weird. So now we have this. It should just feel more on par and a bit better to pilot. It's not really going to be that much of a buff. He can jump over most things anyway. Revenant. Obliterate. Damage decreased from 50 going up to 110 to now 45 going up to 105. Very, very small nerf. Items are going to be buffing Rev this patch. Sure. Richter. Riot Shield. His passive max health scaling decreased from 12% to 11%, and Shock Therapy damage changed from 85 going up to 265 to now 90 going up to 250. So ultimately, it is going to be a nerf. This does help his level 1 jungle clear, and like, well, early game jungle clear, I should say. His level 1 through 3. We've spent so much time buffing Richter, and now he's overtuned, and now we're gonna slowly start nerfing him, I guess. Sparrow. This is interesting. We are buffing Sparrow on a patch where she's getting a very devastating item. So Relentless, her passive max health damage per stack is getting increased from 0.35 to 0.4, and Piercing Shot cooldown decreased from 14 going down to 8 at max level to now 13 going down to 7. Maybe Sparrow sees some light here in this patch with the new item and that change. Wraith. Surprise, surprise, secondary duration decreased from 4 to 3.5 seconds, and Knock Knock, his alternate bonus physical power scaling, decreased from 130 to 120%. Yeah, Wraith's really, really, really good. If you know how to play Wraith, you should have been playing this character. 100%. I still think you should probably be playing this character, but the nerf is a step in the right direction. Very good. Zinx. Bad medicine. We do need more Zinx nerfs. Explosion magical power scaling decreased from 45% to 40%, and Neural Regenesis, her ultimate, health and mana restored on Resurrect. We love to see this. Dropping from 40 to 60% at max level to now 35 to only 55% at max level. I think we should drop this another 5%, honestly. I think 50 is a logical and fair regen point. Yeah, this is a good change. 60% is kind of ridiculous. 40% at level 1, also kind of ridiculous. I think this is a really good step in the right direction. I personally would say drop everything 5% more. That's just me. We'll see how it feels. This should make her a lot more bearable. That's all for hero changes. Jumping into item changes. Soul Bearer. Anima movement speed increased from 10% to 12%. I don't know why we're buffing this crest. I mean, I'll take it. This is the crest I run most commonly in mid right now. Sure. Tempest. Overcharge damage decreased from 20 to 15. Overcharge magical power scaling increased from 12 to 15%. Sure. Less upfront damage, more in the scaling. Again, looking at like tank countess. Yeah, fair enough. Typhoon. I just removed this item from the game. Cyclone magical power scaling increased from 3% to 4%. Razorback. Echidna duration decreased from 6 to 5 seconds, so less lengthy effect on the Razorback. I actually like that change a lot. Near War Boots resilience health regeneration increased from 2% to 2.5%. I don't think this will be enough of a difference to make this good. It's really, really bad. And Sapphires. Atlas damage bonus health scaling increased from 1% to 1.25%. This may help enough. The nerf to Razorback and this buff to Sapphires might bring Sapphires into a playable state. We'll see. Leaf Song. Phantom Rush movement speed increased from 38% to 40%. Sure. Honestly, going back to these, can we give Crest's unique stats back? I missed the bonus health, the 300 health, no prots from Sapphires. That felt so good. Ashbringer, physical power increased from 20 to 25. Pretty bad item. Lightning Hawk. Physical power increased from 40 to 45. Chilling momentum total physical power scaling decreased from 30 to 25%. I actually can't think of what the scaling is. Oh, okay, it's just the extra on hit effect. Okay. All right, yeah, so chilling momentum, total physical power scaling. That's just the bonus damage on the enhanced auto, if you will. I think this is a good change. I approve of this change, just extra 45 power. I think this will make this item honestly feel a little bit more consistent. Sky Splitter, random minimum damage decreased from 15 to 12. Sure. Omen, momentum cooldown refund increased from 20 to 15%. Omen kind of fell off a cliff, and I don't know if it's because the item actually fell behind, or if people just realized other items were better now. Omen's a cool item. I'd like to see it make a return. Megacosm, magical power decreased from 75 to 70. Star Killer bonus health damage decreased from 6% to 5.5%. I would like to have seen only one of these happen. Megacosm is very, very strong. I would like to have maybe seen only this part happen. Tanks are really prominent, so you're building Megacosm. It kind of shreds tanks. It kind of shreds lane opponent. I get nerfing it. I'm also still not in love with this nerf because tanks are still just going to be strong, and we're effectively making them stronger. Fire Blossom, health decreased from 400 to 375. Remember, this will also have a very small but a negative effect on the passive as well. And then bug fixes. So not a whole lot of item changes. This is mostly like the Halloween theme stuff and the quality of life and the new character. It's not a lot of balance done. Here's some bug fixes. The Polar Strike skin, the one that we got from the Twitch drops from this month, or this previous month, will be coming back, so that's great. Bunch of bug fixes there for you guys. Holy bug fixes. Good stuff. All right, so that's all for 1.1. Thank y'all for watching. I'm very excited to try Skylar and the new items. Rip Kingsbane. Yeah, there should be 2 videos on screen right now. Give those a watch, like, comment, subscribe, all that. Go to my Twitch, follow me there. I stream pretty regularly, stream a lot of Pred. If for some reason you're into Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero and you're watching this, I'm going to be streaming that this coming week. So keep an eye out for that. That's all for me. Bears out. Peace.